Hello Bookish friends, welcome to my May wrap-up part 1. In this video I will talk about the 7 works that I finished in the first half of May. And like I did in my previous wrap-ups, I will insert clips that I recorded very soon after I finish those works. Today is the 3rd of May and I finished the first book of the month, which was the second book in Famous 5 series. This series has been my favorite mystery series when I was a child. For nostalgic reasons, I wanted to reread the series as an adult. And additionally, I tried a chapter of this book when I was deciding if I wanted to continue the series or not. And I decided to give it a shot. In this second book, we follow the 4 children and the very cute dog, Tim again. And for the Christmas holiday, the 3 siblings, Julian, Dick, and Anne, come to their cousin George's house to spend the holiday with them. During this time, the children would be given lessons by a private tutor hired by George's father. And the 3 siblings really do like him, but the fact that the tutor does not like Tim makes George very, very suspicious. I like this second book more than the first book in the series. Maybe because the first book cared too much about describing the 5 characters. This one started right out with the mystery itself. Although some things were very, very obvious and there was not a single surprise like in modern mysteries, I think it fitted the audience quite well. And especially towards the end, some scenes were quite exciting too. So I gave 5 Go Adventuring Again by Enid Blyton a 7 out of 10. Today is the 8th of May and I finished the second book that I was listening in the month of April, which was the next book in Love at Stake series, The Vampire and the Virgin by Carolyn Sparks. I'm buddy reading this series with Amy at Zobeck. I am very much enjoying both the books and also the buddy reading experience and exchanging our thoughts with each book with Amy. In this book, we follow Robbie, a Scottish vampire who has gone through very tough times in the previous book. And he's sent off to rehabilitate by his friends to the island of Patmos. And there he meets Olivia, an FBI agent who has also gone through a very traumatic experience. And when they see each other, the sparks fly immediately. But Olivia has a gift. She can understand if the people are lying or not. And she cannot sense Robbie. She's not sure if she can trust Robbie or not. And Robbie, on the other hand, really is annoyed by the fact that Olivia is a therapist. However, their attraction is so strong that they cannot stay away from each other. This book was not one of my favorites in the series. I quite liked the mystery and the adventure part of the book. Both of the traumatic events that the main characters went through were quite interesting to follow. The romance was too insta-lovey at first for me. As the book progressed, I grew to like more of their scenes together. But both of the characters at one time acted a bit unclever, which is something that I really despise, even in such fun romance books. There was a friendship between our heroine and her best friend, which was one of the highlights of the book. So overall, it was a decent read for me. And I gave The Vampire and the Virgin by Carolyn Sparks a 7 out of 10. Today is the 10th of May and I finished the memoir that I started reading for People April, which was Homework by Julie Andrews Edwards. In this memoir, Julie Andrews talks about her years in Hollywood as well as focusing on her 2 marriages, especially her second marriage with famous director Blake Edwards, being a matriarch of a very blended family, including 5 children and a quite moody husband. My admiration for Julie Andrews increased a lot because, especially about her Hollywood years, she praised and gave credit for almost everyone that she learned something from, and she never attributed her success to her talents, which was crazy considering that she was a quite extraordinary singer. And I also really liked her honesty about her home life, how she struggled balancing her family life with her very busy work schedule at one time. She had to do those works to ensure the economical comfort of her family. And in that way, she was relatable to many of us who works to maintain our family life. Though I had heard that she had written some children's books, I did not know that she was so passionate about children and had a very soft spot for all the children in the world. And additionally, I thought this memoir was written really well. And I gave Homework by Julie Andrews Edwards an 8 out of 10. Today is the 11th of May and I finished 2 quite short works today. The first work that I finished was a theater play written by Haldun, one of the most famous playwrights of the 20th century in Turkey. The name of the play was Fazilet Eczanesi. This play takes place in 3 days, all in one space, the Fazilet pharmacy. We follow the lives of the pharmacist, his family, and all the customers in the neighborhood who are friends of the pharmacist, as well as the regulars of the pharmacy. I really liked this play because it was very well written and the tempo of the play was quite good. The theme of the play was also meaningful. How we lose our humanity and passion for the goodness of the society in favor of achieving money and also achieving modernism. Although this play was written in 1960, I think the themes are still relevant today. I plan to continue reading more plays from this author in the future, and I gave Fazilet Eczanesi by Haldun an 8 out of 10. The second book that I finished was another Turkish book, a short novel by Barış Bıçakçı, Sinek Isırıklarının Müellifi. This book was also translated to English as The Mosquito by the author. This book we follow Cemil, who wants to become an author and submits a novel to one of the publishers. We follow the perspective of Cemil. He waits for an answer in the span of 9 months when he's waiting for the reply for his submission. As he remembers his past, his love story with his wife Nazlı, and also his imaginary conversations with the very attractive female editor of the publishing company. I plan to do a more detailed Turkish shelf video about this book. But although this book was not a favorite of mine, I still think it had a very good writing style. It would be a quite powerful book for those who really like the stream of conscious writing style method. This method of writing, as well as the lack of an exciting plot, really decreased my enjoyment level while reading this book. But to be honest, I never thought of DNFing the book because the daily occurrences were familiar, and also, like I said before, I quite like the writing style. Overall, I gave Sinek Isırıklarının Müellifi by Barış Bıçakçı a 6 out of 10. Today is the 13th of May and I finished the second book that I was reading for middle grade May, which was the next book in Nancy Drew's series, The Clue in the Diary by Kerrelyn, Keene. In this book, Nancy and her friends, Bess and George, meet a woman and her very sweet 5-year-old daughter. They learn that the father has gone to work, but they have not heard from him for a while. But at the same time, when they pass through a neighboring village, a fire breaks out in one of the large mansions. And Nancy and her friends try to find out what is really behind those two mysteries. Furthermore, this book is the first book that Nancy's boyfriend, Ned Nickerson, appears. This book was very fun to read, like all of the previous ones. Like I said about the previous book, I am now okay with the fact that these three young ladies are just 18-year teenagers who are facing all of these dangers. When I try not to think about this fact, I think the mysteries are constructed real well for a middle grade book. And I really like the cliffhangers at the end of each section so that we are curious and keep on reading. Although a bit formulaic, I think it works really well for the middle grade audience. At least it works for me, especially for this book. I quite enjoyed the blossoming romance between Ned and Nancy, which was quite sweet to read. Overall, it was an enjoyable read, and I gave The Clue in the Diary by Carolyn Keene 7 out of 10. Today is the 15th of May, and I finished the short story that I was rereading for Books of Alfred Hitchcock project, which was The Birds by Daphne de Maurier. In this short story, the birds all around the country and all around the world one day start to die one by one because of an unexplained reason. In the following days, they gather together and start to act more and more aggressive. And we follow a family who is trying to escape from the doom of these unexplained bird phenomena. Birds by Alfred Hitchcock is actually my favorite movie by this author. And I really like Daphne de Maurier's spooky writing style. And this writing style was also present in this short story. And this was a quite spooky read because we have no idea why these birds are acting like that, which makes it much more scary in my opinion. So the father's determination to save his family from the curse of the birds is quite impressive, which makes it easier to root for him. However, maybe because the short story was too short, I failed to grasp the suspense which was present in the movie in this short story. I think it's still a very admirable short story with a great spooky writing style, and I gave the short story The Birds by Daphne de Maurier an 8 out of 10. Those were the 7 works that I finished in the first 15 days of May. Please comment down below, have you read any of the books that are mentioned in this video, and what did you think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose pharmacy. Pharmacy means eczane in Turkish, and eczane is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.